It started, with Rapper's Delight. Everybody I was about 5th grade, and it was on.
When you talk about hip-hop is the one form of black popular music that doesn't have its origins in the South. But its deeper roots are in the South.
With Sugar Hill, that was the influence that started it all, you know what I mean? It didn't start it all directly in New York, but it started it all for everybody outside New York.
And it was fresh because hip-hop had started breaking through from New York, so it was spreading out, so everybody was kind of doing what they saw the originators doing.
We embraced it because it was our cousins, our northern cousins.
It was like you had a whole bunch of different people that was busting freestyles, it was break dancing.
And when Run DMC came, that just flipped the whole thing. Hip-hop for me then just went to a whole nother level. Like I skipped school when Raising Hell was coming out. Straight up, like my mama gave me my lunch money. I took that and ran straight to the store and bought the album. Me and my boy listened to the album all day.
When I started really paying attention and liking what I want to rap behind, I was watching the East Coast rapping and stuff, but what I heard when the West Coast started coming with, that was like, yeah, that's what we talking about. We talking about some gangster shit, cause we were down there doing this gangster shit. The West Coast was on the same vibe pretty much that this down south was to me for us gangster.
Every little area, like after hip-hop blew up, every little area started to develop their own little sound and their own little scene.
We didn't talk like those dudes. We didn't look like them, So we started doing our own thing, man.
The rap in New York was really cultural. In other words, you had to be in New York to really get it. You could access the music as, okay, it's a tight beat and I like it and everything. But you really wasn't going to get it until you actually lived in New York for a minute.
That's what was so hard about the South trying to get played in New York, man. People got different cultures, man. So you can't just hope everybody accept your way of living and your culture and you don't accept theirs. But New York was getting played in Atlanta, but we couldn't get played in New York.
A lot of those folks didn't really get the credit that they definitely, not even counted, that they definitely deserve.
I was backstage 1993 at Freaknik. I was rapping with the Wu-Tang Clan, Souls of Mischief, Tribe Called Quest. It was so many people back there. We all going around in the cypher, and I remember I ripped it. And like everybody that was around all us, they was like, oh, man, who is this nigga right here? And I'm like, Pimp, they're like, you gotta be from New York. I'm like, nah. Okay, you from LA? I'm like, nah. Okay, you from Chicago? Everybody was standing around. Okay, you gotta be, bro. Where you from then? I told them I was from Mississippi. Everybody laughed.
We was that first wave that really made motherfuckers have to take no dust when Drake got out there, that Source of Water.
Everybody was boo, boo, boo.
I remember it was just the Outkast and the Four Good and I remember. And we was like, man, we up here 6 deep, 6, 7 deep, and I'm talking about everybody up here 50, 100 deep, and this tension between the West and the East, and we sitting there in the middle like, don't nobody even give a fuck about us, folks. We sold a platinum record, don't nobody give a fuck about us or what the fuck we talking